Have you been thinking about how to encrypt your user's password with less code? If so, then this video is going to help you a lot. Welcome to the Netcode-Hub channel. I am Frederick and I'm going to facilitate on encrypting user password with just one line of code. Encryption made easy. Let's have a look. We have a web API here, and we're going to create a web API whereby we're going to supply a method, a username, and a password. The password has to be encrypted with just one line of code. Very easy, and very easy also to implement it as well. Now, maybe you may ask, what is password encryption? It's simply a technique used to protect sensitive information such as password from unauthorized access, and it involves transforming the password into a scrambled or unreadable form using computer algorithm. So we have a lot of algorithms and several methods of using for password encryption. Let's have a look. With an example here, you're going to understand how to do that with just one line of code. So let's create our web API, and the title of this project is Demo Test Encryption. Maybe I'll put this to the GitHub so you can just go in there and also grab that as well. Now, demo test encryption, and we create this project to the net 7. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to look at the default way, that is without using any package of encrypting and verifying password. And we have a look on using a package. All right, that's a NuGet package to also encrypt and verify the same password. Let's check the amount of code that we're going to use here, and let's see which one is easier to implement. Okay, but before we dive into that, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that, and also click on the notification icon as well to have a notification as soon as a new video drops. Thank you so much for doing that. Now let's move on. So what we're going to do here is we have this project created. Defaultly, when we run this, we're going to have a weather forecast API. Let's try this and see. And we're going to override this weather forecast API to change it to an account API. Right. Let's wait for this to match up. Then we see what we're going to do now. That's right. So you can see that we have the app ready. This is the app, the API ready. And we have weather forecast that we can make a query out of this. As you can see, this is a default one. Now let's close this. And in here, when we go to Solution Explorer, in here, this is what we're going to do. Within this controller, we have this weather forecast, and we're going to change this weather forecast into an account. Okay, so let's change this into an account. Yes, rename everything. And this is what we're going to do. After changing this, we're going to clear everything from here because we don't need this. You can see we have an account controller and nothing over here. Now we save that. So the first of all, what we're going to have a look here is checking or using the default way of encrypting password. Okay, so let's have a look with that. Now I'm going to create one controller action method, and I'm going to name this as a default way. Now let me paste this here. So this is the normal way of encrypting password. Now you can see that from here we are creating this password. We're going to create a random numbers, we create a sort, then we encrypt it over here with the 1,000 times of iteration. Then we can now have access to the password as we copy to base64 string. Alright, and now this is the algorithm type that we are using. You can see here we are using an SHA1, so you can change this to any type of algorithm that you want. You can see from here we have MD5, we have SHA1, 256, 384, 5112, and etc. So that is the default way of creating that. Now when we create this password, or when we hash this password, you want to return the username and the password as a hash password. And also let's have a way to store this so we can verify. In that, so I'm going to create a static strings on top here, and that's what I'm going to use to store the encrypted password and the username as well. So we assign the values to them. Now this is the default way. Okay, you can see it's a long code that we have to write. Now let's save this. Let's run this application, and let's see if this is working. All right, so we have an error here. Let's check it up. So it's expecting this. All right, so we have to close this, run this, So you can see it is ready now. Now let's click on try this out. So let's provide a name, and I'm going to say this is Fred, and then the same password is Fred. Click on execute, and I can see we have the username and then the password. So the password has been encrypted. Now let's have a look with the same type, the old one, that's the normal way of password verification. So to verify password, let's have another action method to verify the password. Bear in mind that here we have stored the password over here as a static. So when we encrypt the password, it's going to be stored over here. So we can retrieve the password, the hash password from this string. All right. So let's see from this password verification. And now this password verification is going to return a result of what? Boolean expression. So we're going to return that true or false. If it matches what we have here, going to return true. If it doesn't, then false. This is what we are doing. We want to pass in our new password as a plain text. Then since we have this password hash stored over here from this method, we can just retrieve it from this. So what we're doing here is we're going to encrypt the incoming password. Okay, we're going to encrypt it. Then we're going to compare if they are the same. If they're the same, then we're going to return true, else return false. That's what this method is doing. You can see the same algorithm that we use for encryption for the first one. That is what we are using the same thing for the second one, right? So you don't have to change any of these. They must be the same. If you want to change them, then you have to change all of them with the same algorithm name. Let's save this. And now let's see. Let's wait for this to get refreshed. Then here, so let's first try this out. And I'm going to say this one is Fred. And I'm going to say this is Fred. So execute it. You can see we have the password stored over here, and it has been cached over in the application as a static. Now let's check for the verification. So first of all, we have the hash password stored already. Now let's see. So I'm going to type in the password as, instead of Fred, I'm going to type in FRD. Click on execute. You can see it is false. So it doesn't match. Let's say FRED, Fred, and you can see here true, they match. So in such case, we have now encrypted the password, and so verify the password with the current password if they do match. Take a look at this code. Just simple one. Have you seen a whole lot of code for this simple 2 method? So that is what we there's a package that is known as the BCrypt. Okay, so let's have a look with that package and how to encrypt it with just a one line of code. Very interesting and easy to implement as well. So first of all, this is what we're going to do. Let's close this. We are going to store or install that package to our application. So click on the Solution Explorer, right click on Dependencies, and I click on Manage NuGet Packages. So in here, let's click on the Browse tab, and now let's install this package as bencrypt.net-next. So that is a package by this Chris. Now let's install this to the project. Apply this. All right, so it has been installed successfully, and let's wait to change to see this change to So that is set and done. Now what we're going to do here is all this. You're not going to clean this. Let's leave this here. Okay. Now let's come to the next line. Now with this line, this is what we are going to do. Let's use this to encrypt the password. And now this is what you're going to do for the first one. You're going to have the same method, but let's see, same method, less code. Check this. Very simple one. So this is what we are doing. The whole thing is coming up with just one line of code, and that is this: bcrypt.net.bcrypt.hashpassword. We're passing the current password. That's all. Here we are assigning the static variable that we created to the user. We are assigning the various values here, and here we are just returning. So only one line of code is going to encrypt it. Could you believe this is working? Yes, it is. Let's save this and let's run this application and see something is over here. All right, so you can see it's account BCrypt. Let's click on this. Let's provide, let's say this is netcode. So that is a netcode and the same password for that netcode. Now click on execute and let's see. So you can see this is our password. So this is the hash password. Just one line of code, we got it. Now let's have a look with the verification. So you can see we have to create a long method in the first one to verify password. Now let's see. With just one line of code too, we can also verify the same password. Now check it over here. This is what we are doing. hash password, we store it over here. Then we are saying that verify, pass in the current password, that's a plain text, and now add the hash password. So in a normal sense, when you have this in the database, then you go to the database and then grab this and I paste over here. And it's going to return a Boolean expression. It's going to return either true, that is if the password matches. If the two passwords match, then it's going to return true. If they do not match, then return false. That's exactly what it's going to do. Now, let's save this, and now let's also check this out. So unless we run this ourselves, I'm not sure hot reload is working for now. So let's wait for this get reloaded. Alright, so let's check it out. Now this is the BCrypt, so let's create our password so we can store this. So let's use something like get, password is get, and execute it. We have our password set over here. Now let's see. So with the verification, let's try to pass in something like got. Instead of the get, let's see, so we're going to return false. Now let's pass in get, and it's going to return true. Yeah, so I believe with this, you are now convinced that you can encrypt password and verify password with just one line of code, right? Then maybe you may ask, what if in case I want to change the algorithm type? You can see from here we are using the SHL1. So here, can you customize it and now change it yourself? Yes, you can. Let's see. So I'm going to grab one of these. Then I'll just paste it here. Let me comment this. Now within this hash type, let's see. So BCrypt dot, then go for enhanced. So check it over here. Enhanced password. Now it needs some parameters here. The first one needs this, the password. And now the second one needs the hash type. So this hash type, check over here. You can see we have 256, 384, 5112, and etc. Right? So default, it uses 384. That's for the default one. But in case you want to change to 512, you can do that. And in case you want to verify this, instead of this enhance, instead of this verification, you can use it because this is using 384. So this is what you're going to do. We're going to copy this. Then let's comment this. Then paste this. And now in here, instead of the verify, you go in for enhance verification or enhance verify. Okay. Now with the enhance verify, you pass in the current, the raw or the plain text password, the encrypted one, and now also the hash type as well. And now the hash type must also be the same, 512. Now let's save this, and now let's run this. Alright, so you can see it is now ready. Now let's check it out over here. So try this out, and I'm going to say dot. So dot execute, and now yes, we have it. The algorithm is for 512. Let's check for verification. So I'm going to check the same thing as dot. If I do dot, not dot, let's see, I have it as false. If I pass in dot, the right one, yeah, that is true. I believe you're okay with this. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to put this on GitHub so you can also go in there and grab this as well. If you like this, more videos like this, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. You can also buy me coffee in case you are touched and you want to do that. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself, and I'm going to catch you up in the next video.